I appreciate very much the small group community type of worship and doing things together. There's been a lot of studies that students your age and so forth are not drawn to organized religion worship, across the board. So I'm wondering, how does this feed in when you go home to your home? Do you feel like you're drawn to larger groups? I'm just interested in knowing what you feel about organized. If it's across the board, I mean, all faith, I think, are having that young people, it doesn't appeal to them. I don't know if you agree with that or not.
I mean, coming from, when I go home, I don't have a church to go to.
Okay.
This is my home church. This is where my life is right now, and hopefully where it will be for a while. But as far as organized religion, like an organized, religion, I mean, the churches that I was in and out of with my grandma a few times, like, it's not that it didn't appeal to me, but there was nothing personal. I just didn't feel like anyone really cared if I was there or not. Here, if I don't miss church, my phone is, or if I miss church, like, my phone is blowing up. Like, hey, where were you? Is everything okay? And that's not something that bothers me. That's something that shows me, like, these people genuinely care about what I'm doing, and they care about how I am. I mean, we have a fall retreat that we put on, and we're gone a whole weekend up north in Camp Crosley. And I was going through really severe, like, family issues at that time, and I just felt loved by so many people there that were just reaching out to me. And I would call us an organized religious group. I mean, we have the church and things like that, but within that organization, you have personal interactions and personal relationships with people, and I think that's really important.
Anybody else care?
Yeah, I've heard from a lot of students that, like, they do not like organized religion.
Why?
And I think it might just be our generation, and especially college students. Like, there's just this huge, like, movement against what is popular and what's mainstream. And so
not only that, but, like, if you turn on the news, I know someone over here said they were interested in, like, pop culture and things. Turn on the news and see the image that people are given of religion, any faith, across the world. Like, see the riots going on, see the protests, see the arguments, see the debates, the political debates. I mean, that is all, there's finger pointing in there, and there is stereotype in there about religion, and that's what people see when they turn on the TV, something as simple as that. And that's why, they're like, I don't want to be a part of something like that. I don't want to be a part of an organized religion that is going to boycott these things that I'm passionate about. So that's where you get the resentment.
One of the biggest things that I've seen in my own ministry or with friends is that not just organized religion, simply religion in general. I mean, you can get into the debate of what organized religion actually means, but that's a debate by another time. But what I have seen is that when I'm with friends or just groups of people that don't know me, there is certainly among many people, as you say the word Christian, they're not hearing love of Christ, they're not hearing forgiveness, they're hearing compassion, they're not hearing the search for Sophia or wisdom. They're hearing judgmental. They're hearing. That's what they're hearing. They're hearing this. They're hearing. They don't want somebody else to tell them that they're going to hell. They don't want somebody else to tell them that they're immoral. They don't want somebody else to tell them you're doing this. And unfortunately, it doesn't help, at least in the Purdue campus, when you have certain pastors coming in that will set up shop in the middle of the quad with a Bible in his hand, and talking fire and brimstone. Many of my friends, many students, when they hear Christian, that's what they're thinking about. That's what they're hearing, and that's what they're reacting to. So the question of us as Christian, or whatever, young or old or whatever, is we have to deal with that reality. Whether it doesn't matter whether sometimes when I have brought these conversations, if somebody says, and I say this because I care about my church, I care about Gospel Church. I say when somebody says, well, we gotta say the truth of Christ, and I always say there's nothing wrong with saying the truth of Christ. The question is, how do you say the truth of Christ? Because even St. Paul himself said, To a Jew, I'll be a Jew. To a Greek, I'll be a Greek. So we have to have that conversation on how we are sharing that truth of Christ, and how we do it in such a way in which the person wants to have the conversation with us.
Yeah.
Because that's part of that's part of the issue.
Sort of maybe tying it back into like what we can do as ministers is that I feel like a lot of the really big, really popular Christian organizations or organized religious organizations have leaders or people in them that are liable to hand you a Bible and say, here's the Word of God, follow this. And what needs to happen is that people need to be building relationships with one another. And you enter into a relationship first, and something we talked about at Christ a lot is earning the right to have that conversation. If I walk up to you on the street, I don't have the right to speak truth into your life because I don't know you. I need to figure out what you're about. Like, I need to build a relationship with you, and after time, then I'm able to say, hey, this is how the love of Christ has affected my life. I want you to join me as I follow Christ.
One of the things that I've done that I've been very blessed that in my ministry I've been given the opportunity to do so is every Wednesday I have, actually it's called Coffee with Mario. It's what I call ministry outside of ministry, ministry beyond ministry. Every Wednesday from 3 to 5 p.m. There's a coffee shop called Vienna. It's one of the shops at Purdue. So I set up my office there at from 3 to 5 p.m. And I tell my friends, I put it on my Facebook, I put it on the different places, and said, from 3 to 5 p.m. I'm going to be there. If you want to talk about anything, if you simply want me to listen to you about anything that may be in your heart or mind, I'll be there for you. That's it. I'll be there for you. And I've been getting a lot of the people that are coming to talk to me are people that quite simply will not step foot in a church.